Hello and welcome to today's LOL Esports Roundup. We're going to cover the big news of the last couple days in the LOL Esports space. This morning I uploaded a video about the LCK and the way it looks going into free agency, as far as the way the teams are looking depth chart wise, with those who are signed beyond next week. So if you missed that went up earlier today, and it does relate to this Dom1 Kia mess we have here. So first things first, yesterday, Dignitas allowed Blue to walk, an import mid laner that I think is a little misunderstood. Early 20s, still has a lot of career left. 2.72 KDA, 926 CS per minute, 65.8 KP. If you've been on my channel a while, you know 926 is a very good number in my opinion. Mid laners between 8.5 and 9 is pretty standard, but anything above 9 is gravy, a cherry on top. Blue is a solid laner. Maybe outside of that he struggles, but in lane he's pretty good, and I think that you could go do a lot worse than Blue. 30.9 kill share, 23.6 gold share, 8 champions in 18 games. That 30 kill share is massive. That is a carry-oriented number. Blue really carried hard for Dig at times. Neo not being that strong. River was really good alongside him when River was there. But Dig have a lot of issues, and I think letting Blue go is one of them. Now, why they may have done this. Insanity is the backup. Insanity, a resident, so he does not count as an import. But Insanity did not look all that great with Dig Academy last year. Statistically, I did not watch him play. This is 100% based off of stats. But 325 KDA, 791 CS per minute, 69.1 KP. Under 8 CS per minute. I looked into it a little closer just really fast, and his Silas was at like 704. I mean, there's a ton of factors that could go into something like that, but that is like so far off that, I mean, how many factors could really play into why those numbers are as poor as they are? 27.1 kill share, 22.2 gold share, 14 champions. I put 26 games, but it's probably supposed to be 36. That's not good enough in Academy. You should be dominating. Like, to earn a promotion, you need to at least be winning lane hard, in my opinion, and showing you're better than that level of competition. And frankly, geez, I don't know, that probably looked ridiculous. If you got 7.91 CS per minute, like, you're not winning lane. Okay, some players can have 8, and then if their KP is like 75, I can say to myself, oh, well, they're giving up farm, they're giving up gold to go affect the rift. They're helping the jungler out in the jungle, maybe. Maybe they're going top lane on a roam and going bot lane for a dive, whatever. But that's not the case. So you got to be doing one or the other. That's my opinion. And we're going to get into that in a second with Dom1 Kia. So Dom1 Kia allowed a lot of people to go today. Nuguri, Birdall, Danny, Danny, sorry. Zepha, who is his assistant coach, and Kokoma. Kokoma being, one of the, arguably one of the best minds to ever grace League of Legends. So, Nuguri, 231 KDA, 783 CS per minute, 46.6 KP at Worlds. That sucks. That sucks. Nuguri did not show up in a big way. The meta was shifting towards the top side, and it was like, oh, well, Nuguri can... No, it didn't happen. And those numbers indicate that. I mean, 46.6 KP, that means you are on your own, you are on an island, you are not fighting. Like, that is extremely low. That is extremely low for even spring, when we had a split push meta where people are playing Tryndamere and champions like that and going off into the top lane and just kind of 1v1ing all game and doing their thing. But 783, what are you doing if you're not farming enough? 8 is the number in top lane. You're not farming enough. You're not getting the kills. You're not getting assists. So what are you doing? You're doing nothing that's, like, at least applicable statistically. 17.2 kill share, 21 gold share, 7 champions in 12 games. Nuguri did not show up at Worlds in a way that Dom1 needed him to. Birdall, his backup, younger player, The team was going back and forth. I did have a problem with this, and I did have a problem with Daney's decision-making in playoffs. But Berdahl's numbers not any better. 169 KDA, 787 CS per minute, 48 KP in the playoffs across 9 games in the LCK. LCK playoffs, obviously, we saw 3 out of the top 4 teams at Worlds. Being from the LCK, you could argue the LCK playoffs are just nearly as strong as Worlds are in terms of evaluating the best players. And 787 is not any better. Berdahl, gets a lot of flack from me, and, looking at how old he is, actually, I probably shouldn't do that. But at the same time, he didn't cut it. I think that they should have probably kept him, given what they might do, I guess. Keep him, depending on what you want to do. This is unfortunate for a lot of reasons, but just these numbers didn't stack up. They just don't. 12-7 kill share, 21-2 gold share. I mean, he had more gold than Nuguri on a game-by-game basis in terms of relative to his team. Obviously in different tournaments, but nonetheless, top lane was an issue for Damwon Kia once again. Like, that is not, that's definitely no secret. But I feel like tearing it all apart, probably a little reckless. Thanatos is the only player under contract with Damwon Kia right now in top lane. 3.5 KDA, 806 CS per minute, 52.7 KP, 26.9 kill share, 22.2 gold share. 4 champions in 6 games. These 6 games were from Asia Stars Challenge. I considered that to be a higher level of competition than the Challenger playoffs. Getting against LDL players and the like, I feel like that's a better assessment of where he's at than Challenger playoffs. So, 806 CS per minute. It's obviously a small sample size, but that is enough. Is he dominating lane? No. His numbers historically have been better than that. So, does he earn a starting spot? I mean, where Damwon Kia is in their roster building, I would say no. Where their roster is at age-wise, I would say no, but I wouldn't rule it out. Just kind of, that's all there is right now. So Daney is out. Like I said, 21-15 this past year. 5th, 8th at Worlds. That was how he did as coach. So, I mean, you could do a lot worse than quarterfinals, losing in Game 5 at Worlds, right? But that's what happened. Kakoma out. He went 49-23 overall with his time with Damwon Kia over the last, 72? So 2 years. Finished second at MSI and Worlds in 2021. Like I said, could do a lot worse than that. And then was with them when, he was part of the organization this past Worlds when they were out of quarters. So he is not the problem. So just a complete reckless move in my opinion. Wherever he goes, if he chooses to go anywhere, would be interesting. Hey, does he have a reunion with T1? I don't really play into the drama enough to know why there was a breakup, but the T1 GM spot is open now with Pult out. Bubbling is the top-rated person on the roster that is listed as a coach or anything to do with the coach on the Damwon Kia Leaguepedia. He went 13-23 in 2021 as the one of the coaches of Damwon Kia's Challengers team, and then at Kespa would win the Kespa Cup earlier earlier this year. So there is that. Are they thinking about using him because he has a history with Thanatos and their academy players, Challenger players? I mean, they could, but I rule that out probably. Where Damwon Kia is and where we're seeing rumors of them going with free agency, I don't think an academy coach or a Challenger coach is really the play, but I've seen crazier things. Nest 2022. So it's quarterfinals. They start Friday. These 3 are on Friday. This one's on Saturday, or these 3 on Thursday. This one's on Friday. You have to check Leaguepedia to double check that. Now, what are the numbers alongside these teams? Those are the number of players that I believe played in the LPL last year for a significant amount of time for each team. So you may be aware of who they are. maybe you've seen them play before, and determines like how lopsided a matchup could be, right? LGD and FPX, 9 of the starting 10 are players that have played in the LPL significantly last year. The only exception being FPX's jungle. So you'll see, the top relatively high level solo lane matchups and bot lane matchups. IG and Team Wii. IG have Nenny and On in bot lane. And Team Wii are using all 5 of their starters. So Bubu versus Nenny may be something to watch. OMG and BLG. Cream is playing, as well as Jerry. BLG, Bin, and Doggo are playing, so you won't see individual matchups, but overall that's 2v2. And then EDG are using nobody from their starting 5. Makes sense. They're all coming off of Worlds. They probably, why would they? And then Thunder Talk are using their starting 5 outright. So this is like a theoretical mismatch on paper based on LPL starters. These are all best of 3s, so we'll see how it goes. EDG have a chance to compete, though, with Thunder Talk. Thunder Talk weren't very high in the standings. They were middle of the road. And solo kill looks really good for EDG. So could he beat Hoya? Certainly. I think that is definitely within the realm of possibilities. So maybe that matchup is worth watching. So that's it for my coverage of LOL Esports today. If you liked it, like the video, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content, follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube member. $3 tier supports me. You get a badge in the comment section. $10 a month, you get that badge. Plus, it really helps my channel, so I'd really appreciate it. So if I can make money, I can invest back into this. I can make it, better and decent. So thank you for watching, and I hope you come back for more content.